When dating turns from fun to, oh no. My girlfriend basically catfished me, to see if I would cheat. I'm furious and don't know if this is grounds for breaking up or not. Girls, you are not making us look good. You make us look cuckoo bonkers sometimes. Me and Samantha have been together for 4.5 years. We live together and have a generally great life, and we are very happy together. I did, however, just find out that she has been essentially catfishing me for at least 2 of these years. She has made an account on Instagram, which she proceeded to use to follow me and tried to DM me as this catfish. And same with Facebook. 2 different women's photos, but both are Samantha. I found out from her best friend, who told me in private and said she's been doing this for 2 years and can even show me the real women. She said she did it to see if I would ever be unfaithful. But 2 years? I'm unsure what to do from here on out. She doesn't know that I know yet, and I don't know when/how to bring it up. I'm honestly furious. I've been great to this girl for 4 years and wouldn't hurt her, but she obviously still doesn't trust me and has basically had a whole made up life as someone else trying to get with me. What would you do in this situation? You cannot have a successful relationship without trust. We got an update on this. I'll answer some questions I remember being asked. So after posting that originally, I honestly went with the first few responses and decided to just confront her. A lot of people were asking me how I know it isn't the best friend or to make sure it isn't her first, which is understandable. But I know this woman and she's happily married and a mother of 4. I've known her forever, so I had no reason to believe she would lie or to believe she had been doing the catfishing. And also, she told me that my girlfriend told her about it to get the secret out to someone she could trust. Well, obviously she can't trust that friend either. But that she felt I deserved to know the truth, and my girlfriend wasn't even totally honest with her either. I was also asked multiple times about the 2 women my girlfriends used to catfish me with and why I talked to them for so long. Oh, you did talk to them? I am a social worker, and she kind of used it against me and pretended to be a woman that was in need of help or were in abusive relationships. And I work with this on the daily, so it was no surprise to me to have them contact me, as I'm very public and open with my job. Never once was I inappropriate with these women. In fact, I actively talked about my girlfriend very positively, especially if they were going towards trying to flirt with me or be inappropriate towards me. For the update, I confronted my girl and she broke down immediately, not admitting anything at first, but just crying without saying anything. She then told me to please not be angry, but that 2 years ago she met a guy at work. What? They immediately fell in love and she knew she wanted to be with him. She said they slept together. She said they slept together and spent time together while I was away or while I was working. She decided to catfish me to get me to cheat on her so she wouldn't be seen as a cheater who left her boyfriend for no real reason. And you just thought you had a catfishing girlfriend. No, you have a cheating girlfriend. She told me she didn't think it would take long and that I would fall for something, and I never did. She admitted it wasn't even just those 2 women, and she even tried to get her new man to help out to somehow make me unfaithful. Her best friend told her I got an engagement ring and was planning on proposing, which apparently freaked my girl out because she absolutely did not want to marry me and then be stuck. It's almost like you could have just broke up with me and been with the other person. So I'm 99% sure she told her friend about the catfishing, hoping that she would come back to me with the newfound news and I would end it. If that's the case, she got her wish. She is in the process of moving out her things, and although I'm staying calm, I'm extremely hurt by her actions and hurt that she betrayed me. So for now, I'll stay single and focus on my work, and in the future, I'll have an amazing girl to give this engagement ring to, and until then, I'll be healing, I guess. Bro, you had a lot more to heal from than I thought at the beginning of the story. That's some crazy shit, man. Like, just break up with someone. My stepmom kissed my boyfriend on the mouth. What? Daisy's mom has got it going on. My 22 female stepmom, 38 female, was drunk, but it's still crazy. My boyfriend is 26 male. We were celebrating my boyfriend's birthday. My stepmom loves to drink and she's been drunk on many occasions. Usually she just becomes a louder, chattier version of herself. She's gotten angry and drunk a few times too. Maybe what kind of drunk she becomes depends on her mood. That's usually the case, yeah. I've never gotten drunk and I don't drink alcohol, so maybe I'm ignorant of its effects, but I find it hard to believe that alcohol can bring this out. Please correct me if I am misinformed. My boyfriend was sitting on a chair, but reversed, so he had his arms crossed, resting them on the backrest, and his head was on his arms. Like this? That's what I'm picturing. We were watching a game on TV and the birthday party had kind of winded down. Most of the guests were gone. I was cleaning up. My stepmom was lounging around and smoking. I missed some of the approach, but my boyfriend said she just came up to him and she was slurring her words and the TV was loud. So when she said something to him, he didn't catch it. So he gestured for her to come closer and say it in his ear. She leaned in and told him, "You're so handsome, movie star eyes." He said he just smiled back up at her and kind of laughed it off because he could tell that she was very drunk. The rest of it I saw for myself. He returned his attention back to the TV. She reached out and touched his chin to get him to look back up at her. And then she leaned in and my boyfriend told me she said, "Happy birthday, darling," and kissed him on the cheek and then suddenly on the mouth. If that wasn't enough, she tried to kiss him again on the mouth, but he pushed her face. She laughed and I was so shocked I was frozen. I don't even remember what I said, but I said something. I remember my boyfriend's friend say, "Did she just kiss you?" My stepmom just laughed it off and told us, "Don't make a big deal out of it. It was an accident." Well, I don't think that was an accident. She won't so much as apologize, but when she got sober, she approached me privately to tell me not to tell my dad. That's a guilty conscience, stepmom. If it's nothing, then tell your husband. Am I the a-hole if I tell my dad? Or is this really just not a big deal? I don't want to cause stress for my dad, but I think this is a little too big to file away as a drunk oopsie, which were her words, and just forget about it. What are you guys feeling? Like, that's weird. There's no denying it. That's not weird. And that's also not an accident. Update. I got asked about it a lot, so I will say it here in case my comment didn't get noticed. My dad is 43 years old, so the age difference between him and my stepmom, 38, isn't super drastic. People were wondering where he was during this. He was at work. I waited until my dad was home alone. I told him what happened. We have a rocky relationship because he has poor emotional regulation. That's why my mom left him. It's getting better between us though, since both of us have been making a conscious effort, I said that weird, to communicate calmly. So this conversation was one that I was dreading with my dad, but it went as well as it could. My dad's first response was still to be irritable and defensive. He focused his anger unfairly on my boyfriend initially. I read that. So I keep weird. Whoa, brain, I need you to hang on a little longer. We got to get through this video. I had to make it very clear that this happened unknowingly and spontaneously as far as my boyfriend is concerned, and that he is the victim in this. I also mentioned to my dad that my stepmom told me not to tell him. My dad was too angry for words and didn't say much to me. He left the house and came back later a bit more cooled off. He made me repeat the order of events again and exactly what was said. He then said the rest is between him and my stepmom, and he doesn't want me to get involved. He requested me to not have my boyfriend over for a while. I can go over to his place instead. That works out since my boyfriend doesn't feel comfortable around my stepmom anymore. Well, or your dad at this point, because now everybody knows. You guys speculated my stepmom has a drinking problem. She definitely does. I think it's gotten worse in the last few months. I don't know why though. I've never had any issues with my stepmom, but we are not exactly close either. Yeah, no, that's weird. I mean, I feel like I've said all I gotta say about it. Next up, broke up with my girlfriend over tattoos. She no longer agrees with our breakup. Nuts. I want to preface this with a disclaimer that there's nothing wrong with having tattoos if you want and like them. They aren't my thing. Good start. Please don't take this as a condemnation of tattoos or the people that get them as a whole. My ex and I were together for about a year. Early on in the relationship, she had mentioned wanting to get some tattoos. I told her she had every right to do so since it is her body, but I find tattoos very unattractive and I would likely break up with her if she went through it. It became a small fight and she was cold and passive aggressive about it for a few days, but eventually she said she understood and would not be getting the tattoos done. See, here's the thing. Before reading the rest, that should have been enough for both of you. For me, I don't want tattoos. I don't like tattoos on someone else for some reason. So if you get them, it ain't gonna work. And then for her, she should be thinking, okay, well, I like tattoos and I do want them on my body. So then yeah, this ain't gonna work for us then, because what if I want tattoos? That should have been it. But here we go. Fast forward to about 2 months ago and she makes another attempt to get me on board with tattoos. I reiterate my stance and tell her again she can do it, but I won't stick around if she does. I went out of town to visit my cousin for a week and came home to her with a partial sleeve done. Oh no. Her arm was basically one big scab. I asked her what was going on and she nonchalantly says her and her best friend had talked and agreed I was being unreasonable, so she went ahead and used my time out of town to get it done so I wouldn't be around to be a buzzkill about it. She said she got as much as the guy was willing to do in one sitting, inked, and once she got healed, she planned to get it extended. The tattoo was already a deal breaker for me, but the blatant disrespect and casual ways she was implying my opinion didn't matter and broke my feelings for her right there. We fought and eventually she told me to get the hell out and locked herself in the bathroom. Thank God she did this when she did, because I was close to not renewing my lease at my apartment and moving in with her. Yeah, no, y'all aren't even on the same page about tattoos. Don't move in together. Packed my crap up and left while she smack talked me to her best friend on the phone. Dropped her stuff off from my place the next day. She told me I was making a huge mistake and throwing a good thing away for petty reasons. I just handed her the bag and left. That was weeks ago. Didn't hear from her until today. She called me. Here's a brief summary of the call. Her. Okay, the petty drama has run its course. You can move back in and move on, okay? Me. No, we are broken up. It's over permanently. I don't want to get back together. Her. We aren't getting back together. This was just a spat that got out of hand. You freaked out and left in a huff. I know you're just too proud to admit you're wrong, so we'll just call it even and you can come back. Me. No, I told you repeatedly that tattoos are a deal breaker. You did it anyway and then disrespected me on top of that with the way you went about it. We're done. You can move on now. Find a guy that finds your new ink attractive because I find it repulsive. Oh, that's a big word. And wouldn't be able to look at you or that arm again. Well, that feels a little dramatic.
Just a little.
Conversation goes in circles for a bit before I hang up. Then she tries sending me some noodles. Provocative photos. We call them noodles on here. In an attempt to seduce me, but her body does nothing for me now. And her sleeve was visible, which, even after it healed, was gross and unflattering. You should have just left it at what you said in the beginning as, it's just not for me. Told her I deleted them and to leave me alone. Blocked. She then messaged me on Snap saying she never agreed to break up and I owed her a conversation face to face if I wanted to end things. Blocked again. I know it's a bad form to be a guy calling his ex crazy, but this girl is nuts. Edit. I find all the talk about me being shallow pretty funny, considering she told me that if I ever gained weight or stopped going to the gym, she would leave me. Hell, she put on weight throughout our entire relationship and it never once made me consider leaving her. I still found her beautiful. When she changed her hair color to colors that I didn't like, I never said a bad word to her about it. I was supportive. I didn't like it, but it wasn't a deal breaker. The negative ones accusing me of being shallow, controlling, weird, and all sorts of other things because I have a preference were fun too. Didn't change my mind one bit, but I'm glad you guys were able to get those things off your chest as well. I don't know, I'm picking up some energy on this person that I wouldn't want to be around them personally. It's just the energy. You should have just left it as tattoos are not for me. They're not repulsive. Now you're not attracted. I don't know. You went like too aggressive about it. Just say you don't, they're not for you. That's it. Oh my God, we have an update? Oh. All right, so this update came 1 week later. She showed up at my place last night with a bag full of my bathroom stuff from her place. Just a bottle of body wash and a few other things. She asked to come in and talk, but I stepped outside and we talked out front where the cameras could see. She asked if I was really breaking up with her over a tattoo, and I reiterated that it was about more than the tattoo at this point, and that I wasn't breaking up with her. I had already broken up with her weeks ago. She tried to argue with me that our relationship was stronger than that, but I told her that it wasn't. While I was comfortable with her, this whole incident made me realize I wasn't happy with her. Her treating me poorly was the wake-up call we both needed to go our separate ways and find people we could truly be happy with. She kept trying to argue that this was crazy and I was throwing a good thing away. I told her that I wish she had just gotten the tattoo when we started dating. We could have broken up and just been friends. She said she considered it, but decided she would rather be with me than get the tattoo, so she lied to me when she said she was okay not getting one. I said that. Y'all should have just in the beginning. Then when I went on my trip, her best friend convinced her to get it and claimed that I would get over it and stick around. Guy that did the first part of her sleeve was an old friends with benefit of her friend and agreed to do it for a discount. Conversation sort of went in circles for a bit before she tossed the bag at me and left crying, yelling, "Fine, we're effing over then." So that's that. She showed up at my place like a lot of people predicted, but no stabby stabs or anything. I didn't get that vibe. Friends told me she made a bunch of vague posts about heartbreak on social media, but I haven't seen any of it. Regardless of how things went down, I hope she heals and finds herself someone who can be more supportive of her choices than I was. Yes. Thanks to those who offered me support for my decision. And to everyone calling me shallow, controlling, and weird for my stance on tattoos. I gotta say, I had a blast reading those comments. Absolutely hilarious. Okay. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this one. Some people don't like tattoos, and that's totally fine. I don't know though. I'm picking up on an energy and I don't like it. I need to hydrate. That's how much I don't like it. Grab your beverage. It's hydration station. I gotta write a jingle. I won't. Cheers. Don't worry. You guys are like, I will unsubscribe if you write a jingle of Hydration Station. Me moving to a new city. Bought a house with fiance. She decided she is not coming. Oh. My fiancé and I have what I thought was a really good, happy, and stress-free relationship. We only got engaged 2 months ago, so we've barely started wedding planning, but we've been together for about 3 years total. I got a new job which tripled my salary and is in line with my career goals. She always wanted to live on the East Coast. She talked about that a lot before this opportunity even came up. So when I asked her if she would be interested in moving, she was really excited. With the promotion, we'll be able for her to afford her to start doing her hobby as full-time work if that's what she wants. So she was thrilled with the opportunity. We picked the house out and bought it together, and she was so excited to move in. The original plan was that we would both fly out east on the 29th, which would give us a few days to paint the house and get some things ready for when the movers arrived on the 7th. She changed her mind last minute and said she would stay home to make sure everything went well with the movers. I flew back on the 4th, and we are going to drive back west after the movers left on the 5th because they wouldn't take our ATV or boat, so we had to haul them ourselves. She decided against this again because she thought it would be too long to sit in a car, and she said she would fly out on Sunday, which was yesterday. We booked a ticket and she was supposed to get in around midnight. Yesterday, when I was about to leave to go to the airport, she texted me, "I'm not coming. I'm so sorry." Are you though? I called her and she said she doesn't want to move anymore and can't explain why. By that, I mean she can't figure out what it is that's making her not want to move, not that she is choosing not to tell me. Then she says she doesn't want to talk and hangs up. I'm not really sure what happened. There wasn't a single sign that she wouldn't be coming. All of her stuff is here, including her laptop. So if this was planned in advance, I would be really surprised. I think maybe she's scared, but she tells me she isn't and she just wants some space. She could just be having a panic, you know? I know Reddit can't tell me what went wrong, but I'm not sure how to approach this. I just started my new job today, so I can't exactly take vacation to fly back home and try to convince my fiance to move back with me. Should I even try to convince her at all? She's capable of making her own decisions, and I don't want to treat her like she isn't. Or does it sound like I did anything wrong in the last weeks leading up to this? I thought I was so careful about making sure she wanted to move, and it seemed like she did. She had the whole house layout and colors planned out on her Pinterest, and she genuinely seemed so excited. Any advice is appreciated. Let me know if you think I have left something out of the post that could help. We have an update. I hope she went and she just had to get a little freak out of her system. It's a big adjustment. This came 3 days later. I have a happy update for you, okay? She showed up at my new job yesterday to surprise me, and she's going to be staying out here. The reason she kept putting off moving was that she found out she's pregnant. It wasn't planned. And she was scared to go through pregnancy and have the baby without her mom close by to help. Okay. This is now making more sense. She had a lot going on inside up here. She finally told her mom on Monday, and her mom reassured her and bought her a plane ticket and sent her on her way. As exciting as this news is, she is known for about 2 months now and only told me yesterday. Oh. So clearly we have a lot to work on. We think there was just way too much going on at once with the move, my new job, her quitting hers, our engagement, etc. And now the pregnancy. It was just too stressful for her. I would appreciate any advice on how to make this easier for her. Okay, well, now it's making more sense. That's overwhelming. I think some communication should be worked on for sure, but that's okay. No relationship is perfect. And I do believe, this was 2016. This was so long ago, but I hope you had your happy ending. Not that kind of happy ending, but okay, I want that for you too. I need sleep. Okay, goodbye. I'm leaving. I'm getting off your screen. Stay classy. Stay sassy. Bye.